Hello and welcome to another episode of History with Andy Akright. I'm Andy Akright, taking a little break here. Part-time job at Kansas City Grilling Company, Kinso Wine Spirits in Olathe. Thank you for taking a break to watch this video. So the channel's called Little Known because I want to share a little known fact in each video, and also just share some things around Kansas City that you might not know. So little known, right? Like, did you know that there is a life-size carving? So carved out of wood, life-size, Last Supper, like Da Vinci's Last Supper we're talking about, right? With all 13 of the individuals in Kansas City. And did you know that that life-size carving of the Last Supper was at the 1964 World's Fair in New York City? How about crazy is that? Yeah, June 16th, 1964 went on display at the World's Fair in New York. And if you're thinking about New York and World's Fair, you're thinking about like Men in Black and the globes and everything. Yeah, that World's Fair. So it all started with this guy named Dominic Zappia. And at age 4, he immigrated with his family over from Italy to the United States. And he was a lover of art. He ended up going to the Cleveland School of Art. And then he was doing a lot of religious figures and everything, and a lot of ornate work. He came to Kansas City to work on the Midland Theater, actually, some of the intricate work in the Midland Theater, and also for the Memorial Association. You've actually probably seen some of his work in like cemeteries and things around. Lots of sculptures of Jesus and etc. But this guy, so he's here off Sneabar Road, right? And he gets commissioned by a couple in West Virginia to make this sculpture for Memorial Gardens in West Virginia. And it is a life-size carving of the Last Supper. So what did he do? Well, he started with a small clay model, right? Got him so he could position him, right? You know, it's not exactly like Da Vinci, okay? Now, Da Vinci didn't ever really finish Jesus' face. Zappia did. Bartholomew's standing a little bit different. Peter isn't all as stretched out as he is in Da Vinci's painting. But it's pretty cool, man. So he does this carving, right? And this guy, Nelson, comes up and before it goes out in 1963, Nelson gets it on display at a municipal auditorium in the Little Theater. So it's on the display in the Little Theater. 35,000 people go see it in 10 days, okay? Can you imagine that? 35,000 people in 10 days see it before it goes off to West Virginia. Well, now we got the World's Fair, and there's this Protestant and Orthodox pavilion, right? So Protestant and Orthodox, there are actually 28 churches, groups in there, all focused on unity and love of Christ. Okay, so that's what they're doing there. And he proposes to the couple that owns it in West Virginia to put it on loan to go to the World's Fair. And June 16th, 1964, there it is in the World's Fair, right? In the World's Fair Pavilion. So this big pavilion, you know, Protestant, Orthodox building, huge building, and in the chapel is where it is. It's this like modern-esque black and white chapel with this great Arkansas basswood. I apologize for my pronunciation on that. Carving there, and if you see it here for yourself, you're gonna think, yeah, wow, that's pretty crazy. So after the World's Fair, it goes to the Protestant chapel at JFK Airport, New York. And then in 1971, the Country Club Christian Church off Ward Parkway buys it. So two benefactors really did the bulk of that. They bought it, and so now here it is in Kansas City, Country Club Christian Church, and it's free to go see. It's real easy to go see. I recommend you call before you go. But yeah, so this Zappia guy, this is his work, and I'll tell you. So small models to see how they go, then life-size clay models, then he cast them in plaster, right? And he did all that in his basement. And we went upstairs to the main level to carve these guys. So these are all out of blocks of 500 pounds of wood, right? That he carves this thing out of. And it's pretty amazing. Now they have an 8-minute long video that goes along with it, or an audio that highlights and spotlights the different figures and things. It's behind glass. It's really easy to go to. It's really easy to see. And also, it's one of those things where, like, if somebody takes the time to make something like that, I always find it super respectful, to stay for the whole thing. And it's really cool. It took them 6 years to make, and it's something I didn't know was in the World's Fair. Okay, I was just going through old video to see like what videos I could pop on here real quick, and I thought, dang, what about this? So what you're gonna see next is just a 2-minute clip of the audio that goes along with it. They're doing some remodeling to the church. This is the end of summer 2023, and so it'll be open early fall and everything. So, but call first, and I'll put that number here in the description. So, once again, Country Club Christian Church, Ward Parkway, life-size carving of the Last Supper that was at the 1964 World's Fair, and then in JFK Airport. What? Little known.
Mr. Zappia has his own original interpretation of the faces of the 12 disciples and of Christ. Da Vinci never finished Christ's face. Mr. Zappia has finished it in divine detail, as though surely in his heart he sees the Christ full and whole in his own experience. Here is a rare bit of art that will be preserved among the immortal classics. It stands afresh, enabling us to enter into a realistic experience of the Lord's Supper, the New Covenant. It is as if each disciple is alive, with heart beating, soul speaking in the presence of the Lord, to hear Jesus say, "One shall betray me." As we look upon these lifelike men, we feel ourselves in their sandals at the table. What is Jesus saying to us? And when the hour was come, he sat down, and the 12 apostles with him. Christ himself is the center figure. What strength of character, forceful and demanding, yet compassionate and understanding. Looking upon him, one is moved impulsively to cry out, "My Lord and my God, thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God." There is a sadness about his countenance, and at the same time a divine serenity. He looks as though he were hopeful Judas might still change his mind, repent before it is too late. The one hand, turned palm downward, seems to say, "If it is possible, let this cup pass from me." The other hand, palm upturned, receptive, implies, "Not my will, but thine be done." The Master has just finished saying, "One of you shall betray me." This excites and confuses his disciples. Jesus' head bowed. His disciples began to be sorrowful and to say unto him one by one, "Is it I?" At the far left end of the table, Nathanael, sometimes called Bartholomew, is the first to ask impulsively, "Lord, is it I?" Next to Nathanael, James the Lesser reaches out to restrain the impetuous fisherman called Peter, who had drawn his knife in rage, seeking the one who was guilty. One day Jesus had said to this James, "Follow me." And this man gave up his earthly possessions and followed Christ all the way. The third man from the left, Andrew, was the very first of them.
This has been another episode of Little Known History with Andy Akright. I thank you for joining me. Watch that little 2-minute clip of it, and take some time to go see it. It's just a work of art, or maybe a spiritual experience for you, whatever. But it's a pretty cool little piece of Kansas City history. A guy from Kansas City who made this great thing. So thanks. I will see you next time.